I'm gonna give you guys another tutorial. This is like the how to become a pro trader tutorial part 2. I'm gonna be going over what I said in that video and more. So you don't have to watch the other video to understand what I'm saying in this video, which is great. The first tip is, well, if you don't have any limited vehicles, you should be grinding to get non-limited vehicles like the $1 million vehicles. If you have the $1 million vehicles and the concept car, you should be trading those immediately for other better small limited vehicles that will go up in the future. If you don't know what limited vehicles are going to go up in the future, you should just see tutorials and try to learn the values of Jailbreak. Whatever you do, don't accept the trade if you're not 100% sure it's a good trade. Always remember, this is a tip to go by forever in any trading game. If you're not sure it's a good trade, it's better missing a good trade than doing a bad trade. This is the main tip that I said in the other video, which was if you have a trade and you know it's a good trade for you, try to be a bit shady. Try to act like if you don't want to do the trade, that's fine. Have other trades. You're missing out. Don't bluntly say you're missing out, but be like, it's fine, and then they're gonna assume, they're gonna be like, oh, he's unsure, maybe it's a good trade, maybe, just maybe it's gonna be good for me. Maybe he's not sure if he wants to do the trade. It's a reverse psychology. You have to be smart, okay? You can't be completely fair, You can't. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. The next tip, because I lost count of the tips, is try to get hyperchrome actually. As soon as you can, if you can get any hyperchrome, you should go into the trading hub, see what the hyperchrome is worth, and then try to get that, okay? Try to get a good trade for your hyperchrome, because the sooner you get a trade with your hyperchrome, the better. Because the value of hyperchrome will go down in the future if hyperchrome isn't leaving. I'm assuming hyperchrome is staying. If it's leaving, then you should definitely wait. But if it's staying forever, then you shouldn't. Hopefully I can pull a hyperchrome. Hyperchrome, no hyperchrome. Well, if you get hyperchrome and it's staying, trade it as soon as you can. If you get hyperchrome and it's not staying and it's gonna go limited, save it, don't trade it. Next tip is, if a vehicle is gonna go limited, stock up. If you don't know how to stock up, you have to have a main account that has a lot of money. In the last video, I gave an example of the Roadster. If the Roadster was to go limited, then you should stock up because that's gonna go up in value really fast. The Roadster is one of, if not the best overall vehicle in the game. You have to have a good amount of money because you're gonna have to either buy a Roadster and then give it to your alt account, buy another Roadster, give it to your alt account again, do something like that to get more Roadsters, or some other way. Honestly, I don't know. That's the way I would do. Sadly, if you want to get the Senna, you either have to drop 20 cash at a time every day to get it to a second account, or you have to grind up on another account, which sucks because you can't trade the Senna or the Snake until it goes away. So that's like a way of preventing rich Jailbreak players from getting multiple cars that are going to go limited, increase in value, and then they're going to own the stock market. The stock market? Did I just say the stock market? This is Jailbreak, okay? The next tip is take your time, okay? There's no point in rushing a trade. This is like one of the first tips, or the first tip I said. Take your time. Don't try to rush any trades, okay? It's just not gonna end well. You're gonna figure it out. If you don't listen to this, you're gonna figure it out someday. Take your time when trading and try to enjoy it. because you're making a huge progress for your account. This tip is actually a very long and grueling process, but get an alt account, and level up in the seasons. Like season 10, I think, is a really good season to level up because the cosmetics. At only level 4, you can get the Rolex rims, and the Rolex rims look really good. And that's all that cosmetics really have to do. They just have to look good, and that's the value, just like that. But on my alt account, I'm also trying to get the skin and the car, because that's gonna be really good for my account. I don't think I said this yet, but if you get a hyperchrome and hyperchrome is confirmed to not leave and is gonna stay in the game forever, trade it as soon as you get it. Have to enjoy it, obviously, but trade it as soon as you can or as soon as you want to, just because the value will only decrease as more players get it. But on the other hand, if the hyperchrome is gonna leave at any point in time, save it until it leaves, wait a couple months, then try to trade it, because the value will go up then. The next tip is try not to stay connected to your vehicles. Try not to build an emotional connection, because it's going to be harder to trade your vehicles, even if it's a good trade. The problem with torpedo owners, and when you're trying to trade for a torpedo, you're going to be quote-unquote overpaying. I say quote-unquote, I'll get to that later in the video. I say quote-unquote overpaying because when you have a torpedo, for as long as you do, you're going to get a connection to it. And when you have a connection, or when the torpedo owner has a connection, I've met several torpedo owners, by the way, who've had a connection to their car, and they don't want to trade it. Even if it's a really good trade for them, they don't want to trade it, because it's like, I don't want to lose my car. So you're going to have to overpay them. You're going to have to overpay to them to get the torpedo, which is completely unfair. And that leads into the next tip, which is try to find the right person to trade. What I mean by that is you could find someone who has a torpedo. Okay, torpedo is like the main thing here, because that's the most coveted vehicle in the game. The torpedo owner thinks that their torpedo is worth a Brulee, an Arachnid, and an M12 Molten. That's hypothetical. If a torpedo owner thinks that, what you want to do is leave the game, because the torpedo is not worth that much. But let's say they think that their torpedo is worth that much. If you accept one of those trades, that's going to be a huge L on your part, okay? Because you can meet another torpedo owner in the future who's like, I can trade my torpedo for a Brulee and an M12 Molten, which is way less than trading an Arachnid, a Brulee, and a M12 Molten. So try to find the right person to trade, and always change servers every 3 minutes. This tip is, even if you find a torpedo owner in a server and they're not willing to trade their torpedo, ask them, can I show you my torpedo trade? You don't have to accept it, but can I show you my torpedo trade? And the torpedo owner's like, is this a good trade for the torpedo owner and the guy who's trying to trade for a torpedo? Why you want to ask someone who's not gonna trade their torpedo is because it's gonna be their valid opinion, because they have a torpedo and they have a rough idea of what their torpedo is worth, even if it's not them directly who's trading, if that makes sense. I don't know if I explained that well, so I'm gonna explain it again. Let's say I have a torpedo, I meet someone who wants a torpedo, okay? That person who wants a torpedo, he asks me, a torpedo owner, if their trade is fair. If I have a torpedo, I would know the rough price of my torpedo, and through my perspective, they can see what people would accept, what a torpedo owner would accept. That is extremely important because if a torpedo owner says your trade isn't fair, either on your part or on their part, either on your part as you're overpaying or on the torpedo owner's part that you're underpaying, they will probably tell you, unless they're mean and they're like, yeah, your trade's completely fair when you're giving an arachnid, a brulee, and an M12 Bolton. No, that you're overpaying. Way too much. Okay, I came up with another tip. So, this tip is if you're trying to get, let's say you just want a brulee, okay? If you just want a brulee for the present time and you don't really want any other future things, you should still try to build your way up to higher items, even if you don't like them. Even if you don't like the torpedo, you should still try to get your hands on about every vehicle in the game. I've been slacking on trading, like big time. I should really try to get every vehicle in the game, but I've been slacking, which isn't good. Like, you should be trying to get every vehicle in the game, and if you have every vehicle in the game, you should try to get even more. Like, I've seen people who have 3 torpedoes, and if you have 3 torpedoes, you basically have the entire game. So you should try to get a bunch of vehicles, all the vehicles that you can possibly get, because there might be a new vehicle that comes, and if you like it and you want more of them because you traded it for something else, then you're gonna need those extra vehicles you got, because the value of a torpedo, honestly, it's only gonna go up as time passes, as long as it doesn't come back, and I'm pretty sure Asimo's not bringing it back, or Bad Demo. I don't think Asimo, Bad CC, Bad Demo, I don't think they're gonna bring back the torpedo, like, ever. So if you can get your hands on it now, it's gonna be a huge advancement for your account in the future. Oh, and on that note, if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna go ram. Oh, that's a concept car. I don't want to mess with that guy. Oh no, he found me. As we play Ring Around the Rosie, if you like this game, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. I really like the new changes that Jailbreak has brought to the game with the whole hyperchrome, the new graphics. The new graphics look amazing. Like, I'm really happy about the new graphics. But yeah, if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm somehow not crashing. And yeah, bye.